God is Dope Podcast, episode 27.
27.
2 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all we back. You know what I'm saying? We up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? We got the factory, we got the offices, we got the studios, we got the co-working space, we got the shipping and fulfillment. You know what I'm saying?
We got marketing.
Oh yeah, we got marketing. You know what I'm saying? Everything is here. We had a lot of meetings yesterday and today, and you know what I'm saying, exciting stuff, you know, that's going on in here. Today we're gonna talk about a meeting we had yesterday about influencer marketing.
Yep.
Right? Reached out to one of the best influencer guys, you know, that I've known of in a long time. And he came through and we, you know, told him what we wanted to do. And we, you know, we putting together a plan. And basically the outline of what we want to do is, as we all know, the goal is $2 million a month in revenue. And we have a marketing budget of $200,000.
Yeah.
And over the past,
That's the external marketing budget. So it doesn't include email or text.
right? Yeah.
That's
What's
important.
what's that budget?
We just spend as we drop, but I think at our highest we spent was $150,000 was on text. Yeah.
Last month?
No, I think 2 months ago was the highest.
What about email?
Email's about close to $7,000 a month.
$7,000 a month. So
It's,
text is always going to be probably over $100,000.
If we're dropping every day, yeah. But now that we're pulling back, it'll probably go back down to like closer to 40, 50. I mean,
Okay.
we're talking about 2 notifications a week. And at that point, it's like, why not send to the whole list? And it also depends on like when we're sending more, we're segmenting in different ways. Where if we're sending less,
Yeah,
we're just,
pictures
it's like
and-
big. Yeah, pictures make a difference. The
Right.
length of the text, whether or not you use emojis in the text, makes a difference. I try to keep it between one of two things: either a segmented down list with a photo or GIF, or the entire list just text,
Right.
and within that certain limit.
Right.
I found that those are like the optimal things where it's like, if it's a dumbed down list on quantity that I'm sending, why not spend a little bit extra to try to be as intentional with what we're showing them? Whereas like the $2.99 sales and like the 40% off, like the big blowout sale kind of situation, I would just send to everyone. And it's just like, I can describe that with a text. I don't really need a flashing graphic to describe the fact that we're doing 40% off.
Right. Okay. So we kind of broke it down and we said, all right, this is the first time we finna do a program like this, and we said, with Facebook and Instagram being as crappy as it is, you know, from a marketing standpoint, if we can get a 6 ROAS at 100 and how much was that?
Last month we had spent $173,000, and that's what you were basing the numbers off. We were talking in that meeting,
Right.
But then that's when we attributed, like, you know, let's have a little extra room for the influencer thing, without cutting off too much off the paid media budget, because that paid media budget includes Snapchat and Pinterest, so it's not like all just Facebook and IG.
So we bumped it to 200.
Yeah, so it's 200, and then starting with 50K directly for influencer, and 150 for paid media.
Okay.
And then we told Brian, if the influencer does well, it's something we'll be able to tell like pretty quickly, then
Yeah.
that can be streamlined into its own budget.
Right. Okay, so 125 to 150 for Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, etc. And 50 to 75 for influencers only, right? And we got a list of different options. He put together like some heavy hitters, some smaller influencers, and stuff like that. And
Yeah, it's basically built out into 3 different options. One option is like more people, smaller people, but we're getting like a wider variety of people posting multiple like looks, right? And that would run us close to that 50,000. The other option with that similar amount of people is a multiplier spread where it's of that larger variety of people, we're trimming it down some, but those smaller people are posting more. So we'll get 2 to 4 posts out of each person. So instead of it being, let me see, 1, 2. Instead of it being like 12 to 13 people, this is more like 6 or 7 people, but those 6 or 7 people are posting a lot more. Then the third option is just bypassing that and skipping level to more heavy hitter influencers with way more followers and engagement that are working with, you know, higher price asks. And that would be more like 4 to 5 people that have higher budgets. And that's, you know, along the lines of the Lori Harveys, Jordan Woods, Carl Towns, Karuchi, Jada, Asian Doll. So it's like most of that budget, the bulk of it, is taken by a couple of people on the list.
Right.
And then other people kind of like
And
fall in line there.
And we were talking about figuring out ways to kind of like, I don't call it finesse, but kind of like just get more bang for what we spending, and kind of like combining that with like a meet and greet pop-up type of situation where if we paying somebody $20,000 for a post, it's like if we gave you 25 or if we gave you 30, could we do a meet and greet with you at Windsor Street Market? That way, you know, we can get people to text this number to God is dope, text God is dope to whatever. And then we get emails, we get, you know, we get data for people that's in our demographic just to try to win a meet and greet with that particular artist or influencer and things like that in conjunction with them wearing the shirt. And it was another, and selling merch that day of the pop-up. So we could potentially make our money back just off them showing up, you know, to the venue alone and pay them that money, and then everything we make online is just all profit in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other option was like later on doing like collaborations with certain heavy hitters where this doesn't really have to be too much thought going into the collaboration. It could be more automated where it's like we talked about designating a colorway to be Sharod red, and like that's red and white with that certain look is like your collaboration.
Right.
And then different deals behind that. But the whole idea behind it is trying to fill the top of the funnel where we're trying to create as much traffic to our site as possible, where we know if X amount of people come to the site, we're going to have this much data, whether that be email signups or purchases, that we can then access through text and email marketing.
Right.
Because that's where the well is kind of run a little dry on the frequency that we were dropping with the amount of people we had in the database. You can only buy so much.
Yeah,
So
we just need more people in the database. Because what was those numbers that 70% of the people that buy from God is Dope buy again within the first 2 weeks?
Yeah, the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, I was just saying the rest of them purchase, like, I think everybody who purchased again is like in the first 2 months. Like, if they don't repurchase in 60 days, they kind of, like, they don't purchase again. So, but everybody purchased in the first 2 months after they first purchased.
So if they don't purchase again within the first 60 days, they
I
don't.
mean, it's like, it's a drop off, but it's from 60 on, it's like,
Is it worth not texting? Do we text those people?
No, we usually exclude them unless it's like the big blowout sales.
Right.
And then that's when like you have the win back opportunity, which like restarts the whole process. And we do the same thing with our email flows. We have like flows designated to hit at your 30-day mark of not purchasing, your 60-day mark of not purchasing. And at that point, you're kind of left out of it.
All right.
And those are like more attractive like offers where it's a random 40% off code or maybe even a free shirt code.
Right.
Because it's like we want to do anything to get you back to the top of that cycle, because we know once you're at the top of the cycle, there's a 70% chance you're going to buy again in 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
interested to see what the numbers do after we go back to like just like 2 times a week. I wonder if like either direction, because it could go both ways. People could like purchase even faster because it's less stuff for them to purchase, but then also that 60 days probably could turn to 80 to 90 just because instead of 7 new items a week, it's like to get 7 items, it's like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I think we won't see a difference in the back end portion, but maybe closer to the front end. Where like that 2 week, really was like a big chunk of that 2 weeks was in the first 7 days. So I think that turnaround will like push back some. But I think the back end overall, like still 2 months worth of drops at the slowed down pace is like way more than the average brand does drop wise.
Yeah. No, I agree. We got a meeting coming up with Charlie. What are we gonna talk about in that meeting? Just getting back on track.
Yeah, getting back on track on like what they require on like creative, where they have a plan where it involves mystery boxes, and basically the idea that we're sort of losing on the smaller value conversions where like the $5.99 doesn't hit as hard as it used to. Even when we do free shirt, it doesn't hit as hard as it used to. Well, we're trying to shift the narrative to an average order value thing where if I can offer a ton of value for it, still low price for the amount of shirts, or even like just having average order value heightened by jackets and rugs and just things that are more expensive than a $9 shirt, we can win more on the marketing side, where even I've seen it with my private clients where like people that have $200 average order values are like, it's pretty, I guess lenient on like the ad side where I could spend a lot more to just get to the point where I do finally get that $200 conversion. And then even though I spent $100 trying to get there, I have $100 profitability there still. I mean, minus the cost of the good, but you know, with clothes, we have a high margin. So it's like trying to shift it where we're still going to be doing low cost customer acquisition because it does work, just hasn't had the success it's had in the past. Just trying to see how we can do that with high average order value.
Yeah, I mean, every time we talk about that, it just makes me think about just the premium side of things where we can just, we just gotta get somebody on top of that. Just because it's literally something we could have had today, like by tomorrow or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we're on the right track with it. It's just getting everything done and meeting deadlines and setting deadlines for things. And yeah, but we're starting with this mystery box thing, and then the easier premium items are just like the bombers and denim jackets, things that don't need to be like, they can come off as cut and sew, but they're not actually cut and sew. It's just mass produced. Yeah. We're just branding it, and then moving into like actual cut and sew stuff.
Okay. All right, cool. We got anything else to talk about?
No.
No?
We're recording every day then.
Yeah, recording every day. Yeah, it should be 15, 20 minute, joints. Unless it's like a big deal or, once we do these influencer stuff, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to like be like, oh, okay, we did something with Karuchi and she, this is what we spent and this is what we got in return. Like stuff like that. I think that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Just to talk about the post, what we plan to post, what she actually posts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's something else I was thinking about with the influencer thing is like, are we going to push them in the direction of, okay, if they post on Friday, we're going to be dropping the pink and black on Friday, like getting them stuff ahead of time, or is it just like more core stuff that we probably need to revamp anyways, like introducing a different
probably
core
a mixture,
line?
like probably core in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, maybe something from the drops, you know what I'm saying, later on.
Yeah.
It would be cool to get certain people to premiere stuff too. So if you put it like that, so it wouldn't necessarily make sense for them to premiere it, like wear it, and then we not have it online to sell. Yeah. I'm thinking from a standpoint of them wearing it and just their crowd seeing it and it being online, and then we announce it, send an email and a text to our crowd the next day, or you know what I'm saying?
And then that using
their
the content, we can like win off the star power of certain people.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at there, and then it's even down to like the micro influencer side of just people that are regular people that have 1 million followers on TikTok because they post dance videos.
And then on top of that, if we go heavy hitters first, it may be the thing where it's just like, look, man, Rihanna's wearing this. We can send you some free merch, but we're not paying you for it. Like, Rihanna's already wearing it, so we really don't need you. But if you want to wear it.
I've been doing like a good bit of like reaching out to TikTok people recently, and I've only had, out of probably like 20 people that I hit up, only one person asked me if we had a budget for this. And they just asked me for, I think it was like $200 for like a couple of posts, and like they have like the following to back it up, so it's like no brainer.
Yeah, the TikTok people cool, but I'm speaking from a like, all right, we get Beyonce in it. Now it's like, Amber Rose, you should throw this on. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, Rihanna, come on. Beyonce's wearing it. Like, we really don't need you. Like, matter of fact, just we're going to give you a 50% off promo code. You know what I'm saying? Just go order it. Nah. No, but I'm just saying from that perspective of just getting the heavy hitters, because you know it's like, oh, dang, they wearing it. Let me rock it. Because I think Fashion Nova does that a lot, where it's just like they pay, you know, the people that's charging, you know, and that's bringing a good return. But then everybody else is just like, it's popping. We just going to give you free merch. So it's just something to think about if we go, you know, that route.
Yeah.
It'll probably be easier to get these other people because it'll give Ryan something to go back and say, oh, well, Kylie Jenner just wore it last week.
Yeah. Oh, the last thing, the influencer thing, was bringing them in here and creating content, like in-house content around like, cool, we'll pay you your day rate, and then we'll get everything we can out of the day rate.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I remember, like, sit down, have
And
someone on
then
the podcast.
we need an icon influencer list too. That's like people that's like legends, but they still.
We'll take some money and do something.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, because I you know, rest in peace DMX, but I think when DMX was alive, like if we would have reached out to him, he probably would have came through and like we could have shot him. You know what I'm saying? And some guy just dope merchant threw him on the shirt. That would have been crazy. Like a guy just dope Rough Rider collab. That's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we good to go?
Cool.
Episode 27. It's a wrap. We out.